What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Eye Test. John is not doing this intro because he is in the hot seat this episode in our third edition of this round of the hot seat. Me and Paul are going to ask him some burning questions, and I think we all enjoy roasting John a little bit. We know Instagram enjoys it a lot. If you want to see that, go check out our latest Instagram video where John talks about his most recent mock draft. Apparently, Instagram didn't like it. So we're going to ask John a few burning questions about the draft, and we'll see if he can handle them. Paul, do you want to start us out?
I would love to, Bob. Yes. John, welcome to the hot seat. I just want to say that what you've done for this organization has not gone unnoticed, but there are some wavering holes, obviously, that we need to iron out. So thank you for being here. My first question for you, John, is you have executed a near perfect draft. Near perfect. With one slight exception. You have skipped out on the quarterback position, hoping to grab either Aaron Rodgers, Geno Smith, Kirk Cousins. But unfortunately, the three people in front of you all took them as their backup quarterback. You currently do not have a QB1.
Oh, it's rough
Who
for John right now.
do you take after that Kirk Cousins tier break?
Well, first of all, honestly, me having a near perfect draft, very unlikely. So this is awesome. But I can tell you right now, the quarterback that I would take because I had right when you said like late round quarterback, I immediately was like, okay, Geno Smith, Aaron Rodgers, and then they got sniped. So we got to think on the clock. I probably have like the clock's ticking down. I'm going to go Daniel Jones here because of his rushing ability. I am not a fan of the receivers he has right now, but I do like Darren Waller. He's going to pass to Saquon and his rushing ability. I'm at the end of the day, look at rushing ability for quarterbacks that late. Daniel Jones could really be, he was a top 10 quarterback last year. He could push towards that top 5 number thanks to his rushing ability this year. And that's going to be my pick.
Paul, before I ask my question, what is it about having John in the hot seat or like roasting John that just gets
I was gonna say,
that
this
like
isn't a
tickles
roast.
him so
This
much?
isn't a roast.
Dude, it just I guess because John is the king at dishing it out. Like John will be the first one to laugh at a comment in the sleeper chat, or he'll be the one to instigate a conversation or stir the pot when it needs to be stirred. And so it's just nice to have John on the receiving end of a lot of shenanigans that he pulls on us. So
and I can take it. I can take it as much as I can dish it out.
How much did you cry after we roasted your dynasty team, John? Because we went in.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I didn't need to cry. I knew I was right.
Okay. John's still convinced that the team of Jalen Hurts and now Stephon Diggs is gonna make the playoffs.
Blissfully ignorant is John.
Oh, I forgot to put the ticker on. Look at the ticker here.
Oh, well, while John's putting on the ticker, there are actually a couple guys I liked in this range at quarterback. Daniel Jones, Jared Goff, Russell Wilson, we could see a bounce back season. I would have accepted either of those three as answers, John. So well done.
Well done, John. All right. Got a burning question for you here. So, John, we are in the first round, and you got the 5th overall selection, but all of the top 4 pass catchers have gone before you. So we're talking, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Travis Kelce, and Tyreek Hill have all been selected in the top 4. So now with the newly injured Cooper Kupp at the 5 position, are you taking that, little bit of a risk on Cooper Kupp now, or are you picking from the crop of running backs because there's only you could pick any of them?
Oh, so I have the option to get CMC here.
Yes, I'm asking if you're going to go Kupp or CMC, I guess.
Well, Bijan is right there. I've always wanted Bijan on my team. Give me Bijan, baby. I'm so high on it, dude. He's gonna be volume guy. He's pass catcher, running back, workhorse, you name it. Give me Bijan. CMC, dude. Niners are gonna suck. No, they're not. But CMC, Bijan. I want to have fun this year, dude.
So
I've had
you're
CMC before. I've been let down by CMC. It's like going back to that ex-girlfriend that keeps saying she's changed and you keep taking her back. That's CMC.
so are you
Give me
are
that new dime on the block, Bijan and Robinson.
so you
The
are
girl who
passing
just
on
moved in
Cooper
next
Kupp.
door.
What's up, Bob?
You are passing on Cooper Kupp in that situation.
Yes, because I'm not a fan of continuing on with a positional run. That's quite the wide receiver run. So I'm going to go ahead, and I do have the option to get the number 1 running back. I'm going to opt to take the actual number 1 running back in Bijan Robinson.
We should have expected an answer like that.
Yeah. Yeah, John, you're going to have so much fun finishing in 8th, passing
Dude,
on
Bijan CMC
CMC.
helps you get to the playoffs as long as you draft great in rounds 2 through.
So are we just going to ignore Tyler Allgeier's like 1,000-yard campaign last year and
Yeah.
the fact that Arthur Smith actively does not care about your fantasy team?
I
Dude.
think you kind of have to ignore
I think
it.
we have to
almost.
ignore it. Yeah, the only reason that Tyler Algier will be good this year is if Bijan gets hurt.
I
just don't
agree.
think
He's
I
the
could
most
take-
bust-proof prospect in this draft.
I think he could. I think Tyler Algier could have like maybe 1 or 2 games where he gets into the end zone and it's like, whoa, Tyler Algier has 12 points this week, but it's not. There's going to be no type of consistency for him this year.
Yeah. I guess it's not really a Tyler Algier argument for me. It's just Christian McCaffrey. You're going to pass on Christian McCaffrey?
I would get a lot of crap from my league mates, but dude, I am at the end of almost every draft that I'm in this year. I would love to get Bijan.
John,
Fair
trade.
enough.
You could make me an offer for him in Dynasty.
I have no assets. I have no draft picks. I'm riding with my team, dude, until 2027.
You could give me Jalen Hurts.
No.
It's not a bad. You thought about it though for a second, though, didn't you?
I did.
Eh,
thought about it.
I think I'd prefer Jalen still, but
Yeah, I mean, of course.
all right, 1 second.
We're Paul, we're live. Paul.
I'm just opening the door because Maddie's about to be home and I don't want the dog barking.
Maddie.
Aw, the women that support us.
The women that support us. Yeah, so I was just opening the door for her, but
Oh, chivalry. Not
yes. All right, John, that was the answer I expected from you.
dead.
So, glad to have you here for that. All right, John. So if you see my subtitle, my name, it is not the hit song Love Shack by the B-52s, a go-to karaoke song. It is Love Stack. So with that being said, John, I have 3 QB wide receiver stacks that are very realistic that you can get in your fantasy draft, and I would like for you to rank them 1 to 3rd. First to 3rd. All right, the first being Josh Allen and Gabe Davis, Jimmy G and Devontae Adams,
Ooh.
or Anthony Richardson and Michael Pittman.
Oh, that one's horrible.
So
I'm ranking them off of total points at the end of the week.
You're ranking them off of total points at the end of the week, who you are most confident that together will get you the most points.
Week in,
And I
week
tried to
out.
throw a little mix in there. I got you an elite quarterback in Josh Allen with a stinky receiver, Gabe Davis.
I know. You
A
made
Jimmy
that
G,
really...
what are we going to do? And a Devontae Adams, kind of what are we going to do? Even though we think Devontae's still going to be okay. And then high rushing upside Anthony Richardson and maybe floats a few to Michael Pittman. What do you think?
I'm going to put Pittman and Richardson at 3 right off the bat. That's
Thank
the
you,
easy one.
Thank you, John. Okay.
You're welcome.
Order has been restored to this episode.
Yeah.
I was
Okay.
so ready for John to be like, I'm taking Anthony Richardson, Michael Pittman's upside every day.
No, I'm so down on Pittman. I'm not so down on Richardson, but I'm so down on Pittman. And I think Richardson's going to be mid. So that's like, I'm thinking 15 points from Richardson and 8 to 10 from Pittman. So 25 points. I'm gonna.
And I can repeat the names if you need.
I'm gonna go I'm going to go Josh Allen and Gabe Davis at 2. I hate to do that, but I just think that like Josh Allen could outscore in some weeks Devontae and Jimmy G because of how bad Jimmy G will play. So just Josh Allen alone, he could outscore those two people. Because if Jimmy G's not throwing well, Devontae's not catching well. But obviously, if Jimmy G has an average game of 12 to 15 points, like that could be Devontae scoring 25 still. So that could be a potential of like 35, 40 points. Josh Allen could score 40 points. Gabe Davis just needs to catch the ball once, and I win that stack. And then, of course, I'll risk the high-flying, once-in-a-blue-moon Gabe Davis game. You know, that's tough. I'm going to go Josh Allen, Gabe Davis 1, Jimmy G, Devontae Adams 2, Anthony Richardson, and Michael Pittman 3.
That is.
You guys agree with that?
I think you made a good argument for Josh Allen and Gabe Davis solely for the fact that Josh Allen could literally outscore the stack of Devontae Adams and Jimmy G by himself. I think if I was playing it safe, I would probably go Jimmy G and Devontae Adams because Jimmy G has proven over the years that he has a solid floor, doesn't really have a ceiling at all. He's pretty much just floor, which is like 15 to like 18 points. And, assuming that Devontae Adams is going to be who he is, then, we're expecting him to be normal. But, yeah, I think I would play it safe and take Jimmy G and Devontae Adams. But the upside for Josh Allen and Gabe Davis obviously far exceeds that.
I think that's where I was going with it. I would agree. The safe option is Jimmy G and Devontae Adams because, there's probably going to be more games, I would say, where Josh Allen is scoring his regular 30 points and Gabe is like at 2.
Yeah.
I've
Then
witnessed
like
Gabe
Jimmy
Davis have
G at
3.
5 and Devontae at 5. Like I'm sure that's not going to happen that often.
Yeah.
No, I think the offense you made a good argument, John. I believe you answered it very well. But I agree completely. Jimmy G, Devontae is safe. That offense is going to run through Devontae Adams this year, no question about it, especially with JACOBS like not even being near the team, not doing anything. And I've had Gabe Davis before, and I am scorned by him. So I will never touch him again in anything.
Yeah, I
Nice.
wouldn't ever draft Gabe Davis.
All right, John, you ready for your last one?
Oh, this is it?
Yeah, this is a little two-parter for you.
Ooh.
Okay, I'm ready.
This is a little two-parter for you.
Okay.
So, and we're talking running backs that are currently holding out pretty much, or one is definitely holding out and one is kind of holding out, but he's also hurt. So the first one is Jonathan Taylor. So John, in this draft, you have secured your wide receiver 1 in the first round of the draft. We'll say you were at pick 7 or 8.
So I got Diggs. All right.
Yeah. You got Diggs at 7 or 8. Now you're in the second round. So you're at like the 2-5.
Mm-hmm.
Jonathan Taylor has fallen to you at the 2-5, which is, a pretty decent deal. I think he was going at the end of before this whole situation, started, he was going at the end of the first round. So you're getting a little bit of a discount on him. At that 1 to 2 turn, are you taking the risk on him at the 2-5 after you have secured Diggs?
No, not at all. No, I'm not taking. I can get people like Jalen Hurts, Tony Pollard, Garrett Wilson, Derrick Henry, Waddle. I'd take all those guys over Jonathan Taylor, even if Jonathan Taylor falls. Just because someone falls to you does not mean that you should take them. That'll be my advice. Not saying that there's always a reason for it. Sometimes the reason is your league mates are just stupid. But for this specific reason, Jonathan Taylor falling to me, no. Jonathan Taylor's on my do not draft list. Nope, not taking that risk this year. I will take all those people that I listed over Jonathan Taylor.
Okay, let me give you a little bit of a harder one.
Oh,
now.
Okay.
So this is more of a generic one. So I think we could all agree that the Josh Jacobs situation is a little more serious than Jonathan Taylor's situation. I think there's real concern that he this will bleed into the regular season and he could miss a game, if not multiple games.
Mhm.
So I think his draft stock is going to fall. And he's currently going in like the mid second round currently, coming off a great year. So let's say you're at the 2-3 turn. So
Mhm.
you're at like, 211, 212, maybe even 3-1. Are you taking that gamble on Josh Jacobs at the turn, the 2-3 turn?
The 2-3 turn. Got some good options there too.
So you're already
The one
talking.
thing that I really fear is messing up my draft in the first 3 rounds. Like if I can comfortably nail my top 3 picks, I feel better about my team by the end of the draft. Ideally, you really want to nail like your top 5. But I feel good and safe with a nailed down top 3 players. If the draft was today, is that the question? If the draft was today,
It's all,
or
yeah. We're talking just
uh,
today.
I'm
What
gonna
you would
go.
do.
I'm gonna go with no. I'm not gonna get Josh Jacobs. I'll have the option to draft people like, I mean, I could get my tight end and Mark Andrews there. I could get Devontae Smith, Ramondre Stevenson, Chris Olave. Not a big fan, but I could, and I know he's playing. So I'm gonna go with no there too. I'm not a fan of cranky football players.
Okay.
Suck it up and play. Gosh darn it.
So with
He
that,
signed a damn contract.
so with that logic, John, are you? This is kind of adding on to the question. Are you saying that you would rather take like a Brees Hall or a Najee Harris in that early to mid third round over guys like Josh Jacobs right now? Even though Brees
Yeah.
Hall is hurt and Najee's healthy, but they're under contract, they're going to be playing.
Yeah,
So you're willing to skip on Jacobs that?
I am.
Wow.
It's a fair point. It does scare me too. So I mean, I'm with you there.
It's
It's-
sometimes the hardest decisions, Paul, are the right ones.
I think
And it's a hard decision to not draft Josh Jacobs, but if he plays, then that's fine. But the anxiety of me having to wait for Josh Jacobs to play, I can only imagine how Bob felt with Keenan Allen last year, because every week it was like Keenan Allen questionable, and then it's like Wednesday, Keenan Allen out.
it's hard.
Keenan Allen getting
that-
on-field light practice. You're like,
Yeah, right.
"Ooh."
That's
Limited
honestly-
practice.
That's honestly worse than when a guy just goes down and they're like, yeah, he's done basically for the year. When you're like clinging on to the hope, when you're, in the bottom of the standings and you're like, I need this guy to come back so I can make a playoff run. And you're constantly just monitoring the practice reports and everything like that. There's no worse feeling in fantasy football than that. But going back to the questions, I do agree with you. I think the Jonathan Taylor one is a pretty easy answer. Definitely wouldn't take the risk on him in that range. The Josh Jacobs one is where it gets a little interesting for me, because you're talking like beginning of the third round where, there's guys like, ETN, Najee Harris, Brees Hall, all guys would come with a little more question marks. But you're potentially getting a guy, Josh Jacobs, who I think was the RB3 off the top of my head last year. And if he is playing, he's probably going to have a very similar role. That's a deal that is very, very hard to pass up. Depending on who my first 2 picks are, I don't know if I could pass that up. I just hope I would be able to nail like my 4th, 5th picks to kind of cover that up for when I think he eventually will play. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think that goes back to what we were talking about, I believe, in last episode, where you almost, if you make that kind of decision, you want to hide him with like a Joe Burrow or a Trevor Lawrence in like the 4th or 5th round, where you can still kind of make up for those points just at a different position besides running back.
Yeah.
How did I do?
I think you did well. I think all 3 of us kind of nailed it.
Thank you.
Yeah, we did.
Well done, everybody.
I'm ready for the draft, dude. We're only 12 days away right now. Cannot wait. We're getting
Can't wait.
close. We're drafting very early, but we don't care. The boys
We
want
don't
to draft.
care.
It's going to
We
be
need to
interesting to see how these running backs play out in our league with
Dude,
drafting
and
early.
honestly, like the fact that we're drafting this early and like we're not going to have an answer from Josh Jacobs then. So this could literally be a real life situation that someone's going to have to deal with.
Yeah. It could either pan out really bad or it could pan out like amazingly for some
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes. John, you want to send us off?
Yep, guys, we'll be back next week. We're getting so close to the draft season, so we're going to do something that has to do with that, I'm sure. Oh, wait a second. We're going on a week break, aren't we? I'm riding solo. Dude,
John's
we're going to
riding
have
solo
so
next
much
week.
fun, guys. It's going to be me and you, the viewers, and those listeners on Apple and Spotify. Oh, we're going to have so much fun. Let us know down in the comments what you want me to talk about. I'll talk about anything, dude. I'll do 0 running back strategy mocks all night, and we can just laugh at my team together like they're doing on Instagram and TikTok right now. Go ahead, follow us on our social pages. Don't forget to enter our Bijan Robinson sweepstakes on our YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, whatever it is. Just join it. It's a sick jersey. You can hang it up on a wall. If you hate the Falcons, you can rip it up, light it on fire, and tag us in that video, please. We'll be back in 2 weeks. See you then.
See ya.
Peace.